right in front of me is my computer, and it's uploading the video I just did, and that video is about 18 minutes long, but it's got 3 things in it because it's my January 2016 wrap up of my books, which was a total of 8. Didn't read that many books that month, and it's also about me going to Harry Potter's world, so if you want to know about that, watch that video. And also about my new goal that I just passed in my reading, which I'm so excited about, which I did talk about it when I passed like 300. I've just passed another goal, so that's all about that, so go and watch that. It's not up yet, but the time I've uploaded this video, it's definitely going to be up, because this is the past and this for you will be the future. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be doing the book review, and if you find I'm really excited, it's just because I am, because it's one of my favourite authors of all time, which of course, if you know me very well, you know I'm going to be beginning with a K, and who it's going to be. It's Kelly Elliott's book, A Forever Love, the 5th book, and it's the last book in the series. But it's technically not either, because this is the last book in that series, but the couple's story technically isn't over, because they all have kids, and their kids get to fall in love with like each other's kids and stuff, and she's done that in like a different book series, but you can find the parents and stuff involved in it. So of course this book series is over because it's obviously about the parents finding each other and falling in love, but you can go back into their world where they are and find sorry, YouTube, go and find out about their kids. So it's technically not over, because you can find that it's just brilliant, but it's so sad, but it's so exciting. I can't believe this is over, that I finished another whole, I think it's 2 now on YouTube, that I finished 2 complete separate book series and reviewed all of them, and that's probably like, I think it's like 12 books altogether. So oh my god, this is just crazy. I loved it. This is going to be my spoiler and spoiler free section, so I'm going to be talking about what the book's just generally about, and so that you can find out if you want to read it, and without actually telling what happens, but you just get the basics, and then go straight into it, so we can talk about it. If you've read it, we can talk about it together, my favourite parts and how good it was and how romantic it was. So let's get into the no spoiler section. Anyway, so this is Kelly Elliott's Forever Love, and I can't remember, did I show you the picture? I didn't think I did, so I'll do that now. This is one. Sorry, the picture's not very good. I'm showing you on my phone, and it looks like a funny colour, but yeah, it's black and white, but it looks blue from here, but it's not. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's that one. I bought it. It came out last year, and I've had it on my. I was talking about it in a previous video that I had loads of books. I was telling you about books that I have that I don't want to buy anymore. You know, I already have bought like another 2 books, but books that I have on there that I just haven't read, and I need to get on reading them. I have read like 4 books that were on my read list, so that's good. So I've read that. I gave it 5 out of 5, of course. I read it yesterday and I finished it yesterday, obviously on the 24th, it's the 25th now. This video, I don't know if I'm going to put this up today or if it's going to go up tomorrow. Either it's going to be up today or tomorrow, because I'm already putting one up today, so I might just put one up tomorrow. Anyway, so let's just get on with the spoiler free section. Anyway, Forever Love, oh, it was just so good. It was so romantic. Anyway, you just have the classic boy, and there's a new girl in class, and just, I forgot their name. Right, Garrett, that's it, Garrett. How do I forget his name? And his girl's name was Emma. See, I always forget their names. So Emma's parents have moved her to a new town again, obviously, where if you've read the previous books, from book 1, book 2, book 3 and book 4, they all live in the same town. And anyway, so they live there, and it's like a Texas sort of place, you know, they have barns, this sort of stuff, and Garrett is, I wouldn't call him a player, he's a teenager at school, and he's been with a girl before, he's not a virgin or anything, but Emma is, he's a virgin, this sort of stuff. I don't want to tell you guys, but she moves to town, and she's automatically kind of attracted to him, and he's automatically kind of notices something different about her, and he finally kind of realises that she might be the one for him, because he has talked to his dad and stuff, and he decides to go after her, like ask her out on a date, and she always turns him down, and that's it really. But if you've read the previous books, you kind of notice about, but this book's different from the previous 4, even though it's the same, because from book 1 to book 4, the couples that meet have all kind of gone to their grandparents' house, and this is them. Garrett and Emma are the grandparents, and so you've got all the previous couples, you know, you've got Gunnar and his girl, you've got, he calls her Elle, you've got, is it Jason and, oh, I forgot her name, but they're also in there, so you've got, what's their name, the one with the twins, who's from the 3rd book, Scott wasn't there, if I recall. I think he was actually, because he was in the 4th book, but I can't remember if he was actually there. But I remember he read a letter at the end of the book, so I think he was, with his girl Jessie. Because Jessie turned out to be, I can't tell you that's a spoiler, but she is connected to Gunnar, which you find out, I think it was in the 3rd book or 4th book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd book, because that was the book where it was like hinting at these characters, Scott and Jessie, before they got their own book. So you kind of got to know about them. They always do that. They kind of have a couple that's in... So you have the main couples that are the books about them, but they always have like another boy, another girl in the background where we get to know about them a little bit, who come into their life. And then the next book's about them. So then you have them, you have a couple in the background. But this couple have always been there from the beginning. They've been the grandparents, right? They're Gunnar's grandparents. You know, they gave birth to his father, who Gunnar doesn't really get on with, and his mum, he doesn't get on with her anymore because of how his dad treated him, who's Jack, and they had 2 sons. He's also got an uncle. So it's weird, but it was awesome. So you get to go into the past, because this is obviously before Gunnar was even born. You know, this is that they all come to their grandparents basically, and they want them to tell them the story. Because if you didn't know, Garrett and Emma have told each of the couples basically. They've helped each couple kind of realise that they care about each other, or found out when one of them were pregnant, and that they always just kind of helped each other. That they could tell when Gunnar was in love with Elle, and they could tell when Elle was going to be, you know, their next daughter-in-law. You know, they kind of just, because they've been there themselves. You know, they've been the role models of each of the couples, like guidance, I guess, of their love. But I've always wondered myself, I'm sure they have, that they wondered how they knew so much about love, and how they knew about these couples and help them. And obviously it's kind of nice that this was the last one, because they kind of got there, and they wanted Garrett and Emma to tell them their love story, because they've been in love but we never got to their story. So it kind of, their love story kind of affects all of theirs, because without them they wouldn't have given birth to their children, and that means that Gunnar wouldn't have been there, and he wouldn't have been best friends with Elle's brother, and they wouldn't have met, and then Jason wouldn't have met Elle's best friend, who he fell in love, and then Jason and her wouldn't have met, you know, what's called, I forgot their names, the other couple who fell in love, and then they wouldn't have met Jessie and Scott, and they wouldn't fall in love. So if it wasn't for Garrett and that, and they didn't get married and have their kids and their love story, all the other couples that we've had, you know, in the previous series wouldn't have their story, and their loves wouldn't be similar from the others. And it's just, it wrapped up in the perfect little bow. It's kind of like those movies and book series that you read, and you kind of, you know that there's a small gap, like everything's going well, but you're like, how did everyone get here to this point? You know, it's kind of like, it's just use Harry Potter for example, you know, like Harry Potter, you didn't know his whole story of why everyone was so, he was such a big deal. He didn't know himself, and obviously everyone else knew what his purpose was. But if it wasn't for his parents falling in love and everything happening and Voldemort coming after him, you know, there would be no point of Harry Potter. So you have Harry Potter, and you need to get to the end of Harry Potter's, them explaining everything of why his purpose is what it is, and it all goes back to his parents. If it wasn't for his parents, Harry Potter wouldn't be here, and the world wouldn't be the way it was in Harry Potter. It's kind of the same with this book. So I was really excited about it, and I had it for a long time. I just kept not reading it for some reason, because I just read other stuff, and I was like, I also think I didn't want to read it because I love Kelly Elliott. I love her so much. I love her books. I can't wait to read them. But I thought, because this is kind of the last of these 4 couples about them, even though it's going to be continued with their kids getting married, which I already read like 2 of their books of their kids, but it's just sad to know that this is going to be the last one. It's kind of like when I went to watch Twilight and I watched the last movie, knowing that this is going to be the end of an era for me, saying that it's for Harry Potter fans watching the last movie, and you know that there's never going to be anything like that again. Sort of like when Michael Jackson dies or Elvis dies, you know, someone so important to your life that has done such amazing things, and it's just going to be the end of it. And I don't want this to be the end, even though there's going to be more of this book series, but it's just, this is the end of this certain book series, and it's just, even though it was so perfect, I loved it, but I'm sad that it's over. But I know that I'm going to go back to the beginning of these books and read them again and just enjoy them just as much. You know, I know what happens, but it's just brilliant. I really think you guys should read that. If you're a fan of Kelly Elliott, you really would. And if you're a fan of real love stories, it's perfect. And if you are, even if you're an older person than me and you were born, you know, in more, if you aren't a, should we say, a now generation person, if you're a bit back, then this would be perfect for you, because it goes in time, and it was just a brilliant love story. I loved it. It was so good, and it really explained how the men in the book series, you know, from the last 4 books, why they're so romantic and good with when it comes to relationships. Even the girls, even though they have bumps and across, you know, their love story, you can see where it comes from when you read their love story, and it's just it just, I loved it. I loved it. I'm glad that it wasn't the first book and we got the other couples. I liked that Kelly Elliott put this as the last one, and it really just explained how the kind of the 5th book kind of felt like the prologue of all the other books, if it makes sense. It feels like if it was a TV show, they should have this, the 5th book, as have the first book going on, but have this as like flashbacks going on, how the story became to be. You know, it's brilliant. I really think you should read it. I really want to get into the spoiler section now, so let's get straight into it.